Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and welcome to the Amateur Otaku Podcast. How is everybody doing out there? I am Brandon Alvarado, the Scarlet Fan here, and I'm very excited to be back here today to talk some awesome anime with y'all. Of course, this week, Demon Slayer. Um, the end of the Entertainment District arc has happened, and we are going to cover and say our thoughts on that. So, welcome to the Amateur Talker Podcast. If you love what we do, make sure to click on the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, click that like, and click on that bell for notifications so you do not miss any of the episodes of the Amateur Talker Podcast. We cover My Hero Academia, manga, anime, Attack on Titan, and any other anime that's different, cool, and that probably nobody else is talking about. We love talking anime with you guys, and more than anything, giving you guys recommendations for things you guys should definitely check out, not just all the mainstream stuff that everybody else covers. So, thank you for joining us. And as usual, I'm not here by myself. I'm also here with my good friend Isak Wolff to talk some Demon Slayer. What is that, man?
This is going to be some flashy Phil Panzer conversation.
I have no idea what any of that means. But then again,
I
I
don't
am the
either.
other. Oh, so you are 100% aware that you have no idea what you just said means, and you just threw yourself in there.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so like we said today, perfect. So like we said, we're here to talk Demon Slayer, the end of the Entertainment District arc. I know that we skipped last week's episode. We just didn't have time to get together to record. But based on the type of episode that it was and how it connects directly to the finale and to the close of of the battle between Gyutaro Daki, the upper rank sixth demon of Musen Kubutsuji's team, right, or group or clan or whatever, against the demon slayers that we follow, we figured that it was best
You
to
can
just put
call
them
him.
together.
You can call them. You can call them his 6 elite soldiers.
Yeah, yeah, part of his tribe. But now we figured let's cover everything together and wrap up this awesome arc because uh, to say the least, I think that the approach that UFO table and Aniplex have taken towards working with Demon Slayer has been very interesting because as where a lot of shows, or I would say 95% of shows, focus on seasons, right? And focus on season where
Yeah.
multiple arcs and multiple ideas are taken care of or explained or explored. They have decided to, and it all started with Mugen Train, right? They've made the decision
Yeah.
to be not a season centric series, but an arc centric series, which I think is a very interesting and brave take. And it's working wonders for them, actually, because I got to be honest, the fact that they said we're doing the Entertainment District arc, as we know, it was announced what yesterday? Was it yesterday that they announced it officially?
That you're
Right
doing
after,
the next art.
yes. Was it
Yesterday it
yesterday?
was.
Yeah, it was yesterday,
It
and
was.
right at just only one day, maybe less than 24 hours since the ending of the Entertainment District arc, they announced that they are officially have the green light, which of course none of us doubted that this was going to happen. Like Demon Slayer, it's like the biggest thing in anime right now, in Japan primarily, right? And that's one of the biggest things. Like Demon Slayer is one of those animes that's big everywhere, right? It's not just Japan, but it is a huge hit in Japan, which I think is a big deal. It's something that we need to point out, right? Like similar to how, correct me if I'm wrong, but similar to how The Legend of Zelda is bigger in the States than Japan, right? Or is it, or which,
Yeah. It's
and similar,
bigger in the states. Last I checked, the same goes for Metroid. If you talk about Nintendo franchises.
and just like Fire Emblem is bigger in Japan than it is outside, right? Um, it, the fact that it's big in Japan, it means a huge deal because, of course, it has a lot more support, right? I wouldn't be surprised. Correct
Yeah.
me if I'm wrong, and I'm maybe. But one of the main reasons why Fire Emblem stayed as a handheld series more than anything is because one of the biggest consoles for Nintendo in Japan wasn't necessarily the consoles, but more the handhelds, right? Like,
They let me put it like this: there's a reason why have been a solid competitor to the mobile market, and downright, I'm sorry, even though the PlayStation Portable and PlayStation Vita was a good console, spanked the ass out of them.
right. We're not debating that the PSP or the PS Vita weren't great, but they were never near any of the Nintendo handhelds. Like, they just weren't near at all. And we have to be honest about that, right?
If there is
Um,
one field that they never failed at, it's been the handheld market. I mean, the
right.
original Game Boy, I think, lasted for about 10 years before Game Boy Color came.
Yeah. But not only that is the idea that Japan, of course, not only do they want to put anime out in the world, but like the main audience that's paying and enjoying Demon Slayer is the Japanese audience, which is a big thing because it is one of the reasons why it's gonna get the most backing for more projects, right? Especially after the big boom that Mugen Train the movie was, right? It took Spirited Away off the rankings and all the like. It just blew everything up, right? So we're not surprised that it was announced, but again, I want to point out that I think it's awesome. I was very satisfied with everything I got with the Entertainment District arc, and to think about Isaac, this was just 11 episodes. That's all it was. It wasn't like a tiring 38 episode season, right? It was straight up 11 episodes from start to finish, succinct, to the point, and it was so good. Now, I like the fact that they're focusing on that because I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing it to maximize quality, because the quality of the animation and the work put into every episode of Demon Slayer is very palpable in every episode, right? And I think a lot of us can agree that My Hero Academia, for example, especially the anime, suffers a lot with moving in between arcs between the season, right? Like in between the season, or it can lose a lot of momentum. Um, I would even say that's probably why, personally, one of the most strongest seasons of My Hero is season 4, and it's because 80% of season 4 is the overhaul arc, right? Like, it's very
Yeah.
overhaul arc centric, and to me, that's why that's the strongest season. I think that's the strongest season in the entire series. Um, and season 1, of course, because it's all about Deku getting into MHA, right? So I think I like that they're making that a thing. I hope that some I hope that some shows or some animes take that as a possible route of maybe doing it that way, of structuring things that way. Um, because I don't think it's something that will be applicable to every anime. Because I think one of the things that could be helping Demon Slayer is that all the arcs tend to be kind of short, because they are short arcs. They're not like extensive or deep arcs. Am I wrong? I mean, you're reading the book, so am I wrong in saying
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. The Demon Slayer go kind of quality over quantity kind of thing.
Right. Right. Like,
I
is
mean,
it is it is it a
that
traditional 4 chapters per volume, or is it less?
I think it's less. I can't recall in my headspace right now.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, it's one of those things, like I noticed that, and I was very satisfied with that. And I'm glad that for the future, they're going to go back, they're going to keep that up, right? Especially the fact that they didn't announce Season 3 has been confirmed. They were very specific. It has been confirmed that they're doing the Swordsmith Village arc. And I kind of did. I kind of cheated because I was very interested in. I like watching videos of little bits and pieces of a show or of an anime because I'm interested in a character, and I kind of like I kind of spoiled the ending of the series for me. But one of the things that I read that I saw in the video is that it breaks down all the arcs, and I like the fact that it's a very organized series and is very clear on where an arc starts and where an arc ends and what it tries to do. And you can see that in the execution of this particular. I would even say, and I think we've talked about this a lot, and we talked about how season one, especially of Demon Slayer, is like everything happens very fast but very clearly
Yeah.
and precisely, right? Um, and you probably have, I would say, you probably have two and a half very distinct arcs, right, in season one. But I like the fact that they took that they proceeded to do it very clearly and succinctly. Now, I wonder, do you think that being that they're going to keep doing this arc based um, approach to the storytelling and organizing the episodes that way, do you think we'll be seeing a lot more episodes a lot more frequently? Do you think the turnaround on episodes will be a little faster?
Honest, I think they are going to stick with the whole quality over quantity because let's face it, if they did the whole 20 to 30 episode shenanigans that some other animes do, they did. I'm not saying that the show would look horrible slash bad, but it it would drop in quality. Here, every episode, granted, I didn't see their retelling of the Mugen story arc. That was the first arc of the series, technically. First arc in the season, I should say. The but every episode of the Entertainment District arc is a downright movie quality. It is
Yes.
downright movie, and that's not even. And I'm not even overstating the quality. It's downright movie quality, which is just uh, which is just what makes this stand out, so to speak. It's just they truly want to leave a mark whenever the season arrives, instead of just come and go like it pleases. If that makes sense, it's sort of like Attack on Titans in some regard.
Yeah.
It, because instead of give us all the episodes at one go, they decided to switch up the releases of the first and second half into quarts. And quarts for in terms of anime parts, it's sort of like a season. What you guys calling it in? It's sort of like a season break for a regular TV show that
Yeah, yeah,
continues.
yeah. Similar to like what you do in like the CW, like you have a big finale. You have a finale in the middle of the season, and you go on winter break, right? And then you come back
Yeah,
for the second half. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like you have like a complete story that's a complete arc that starts from beginning to end, but it divides in like two, three little arcs in between, even though they're all related to the same thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like like I said to you said before, if they had done, let us let's just say, Mugen Train Entertainment District and the next arc they are doing for season 3, they wouldn't look that as good. And I dare argue Mugen Train in particular wouldn't have gotten the same impact if it wasn't on its own. If
Like
that makes any sense.
if it wasn't a movie, you mean? Like that, like if it wasn't an event as opposed to a series moment, as opposed to a season, like it had more
Yes,
effect because it was an event piece as opposed to um an arc or a season.
kinda.
I get what, no, I agree with you. There's something, it's the same to say like Endgame wouldn't have. I mean, that's, I know how you feel about it, but Endgame wouldn't have Endgame or Infinity War or Avengers wouldn't have that strong of an effect if it wasn't seen as an event film. Like if it was episodic, it's like you kind of lose some of the buildup and some of the tension. Like the way you build moments is very different in an episodic medium as it is in an event film, right? Because you know that you're sitting down for those 2.5 to 3 hours because something's going to happen. You're not having something prepared, something is going to happen, right? So Mugen Train definitely had that. Like you were getting a complete chunk, and it was all about focusing on that chunk, right? Um,
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
yeah. No, I agree with you, 110%, 110%. Now I hope they really stick to doing it. It looks like they're doing that, and I hope they keep doing. I like the concept. I'm digging the concept a
Hon-
lot. Go ahead.
Honestly, maybe they do that to some extent just because I do wonder if they do that because the manga isn't that long, if you really think about it. I do wonder if they do that because of it. It's
It's
not
very
as long as let's say My Hero that we also cover, or Attack on Titan. It's just make every they allow every arc to really be something on their own. I do
yeah.
wonder what this show would have looked like if it was a manga that was continuing currently ongoing. Honestly,
Yeah. No, and not only that, it also, and it's funny because I think it's also kind of like a psychological perspective of it. Because if you don't call it a season, right? When you call it a season, you really don't have a clear sense of focus. But when you're calling it the entertainment district arc, you're like, okay, this is what's happening. This is the focus. This is what I should expect. And then they just blow our mind in between. And like when it's over, we don't feel that sense of disappointment because it's over, because we knew that it was going to come to an end. You know what I mean? It has that kind of perspective, psychological effect too. I don't know. I just find it so smart, and I hope that the other shows that this could apply to, I hope they take note and try it, because so far I digged it, and I really like that they're keeping they're it's like they're it makes Demon Slayer an even more unique show, because it's not just the show or the story, it's also the production value and mindset is unique as well. You know what I mean? Like they're seeing themselves like a particular animal, and they don't care what they're going to do. They're going to tell the story they want to. And so far, it's 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 paying in spades, because I felt very
yeah.
satisfied. I feel very satisfied with the ending and how and to think also what I was thinking about, that I forgot to mention this. The fact that they don't call it a season also gives them the freedom to do what they did, which is I think let me double check. I don't want to open my mouth and scream and say that that's what happened. But if I am not mistaken, let me see. Where's Demon Slayer? Bear with me. Bear with me. Yeah, they have the freedom of doing what they did. And do you know what they did? The first episode of the
No.
arc, the first episode of the arc is 46 minutes. The rest of the episodes are 23 minutes, and the last episode is 36. They have the freedom of of deciding the length of their episodes depending on the beat and the scenes that they want to build. Which on a season, you can't really do that because that's like a preset structure that you have to follow. And unless you're breaking from the season, you really it's really unorthodox and it kind of messes with the flow. But like the fact that they're calling it an arc, they kind of have that freedom of deciding how to play with the length of episodes and chapters. Does that make sense? Because I
That makes sense.
which I didn't think about that till I looked at now and like yeah, the first episode and the last one, and it's kind of like a mixture of what just like most streamers are doing, that whenever a it's like the hybrid model, like a lot of places now, like most whenever a new show comes out, they put the first 3 episodes and then they do one a week. It's kind of the anime version of that. Instead of just putting 3 episodes, they just put the first one is a little bit longer to kind of tell you what's coming, and then it goes from there. I don't know, man. I think we should talk about the episode. What do you think?
I mean, talk about a cliffhanger in the last week's episode, really.
Yeah, yeah,
When they finally
yeah.
decapitated both of the demons and he just exploded. Nothing happened. You didn't see Tanjiro, you didn't see Inosuke, Zenitsu, Tengen. It was just boom, and then the
Yep.
only thing that you saw was the explosion pieces
Yeah, and you
that
didn't know,
was
and you.
falling down.
Hmm. No, and the biggest thing is that you didn't know if you didn't know if if anybody else died, because I like that the stakes were raised to the point that you were kind of ready for any of them to not make it. Of course, you can't deny, we all know that the main trio has plot armor, right?
Or should
Like,
we say the main, what's the four characters called?
right. The main character, like, so Netsuko, Inosuke, Sanitsu, and Tanjiro, right? Like, we know they have plot armor to a degree. Um, but at the same time, I like how the tension, like that second to last episode was all tension and all rush. Like I like how they use weakness and tension and stress and stakes to kind of like make us understand that humans fighting against demons, humans are at a huge disadvantage. You know what I mean? Like, I like the fact that they
Yeah,
go out of their way to show that. Like the whole thing with the poison, the whole thing with how the fact that most of them are out of commission and they literally have to catch their breath. You know what I mean? Um but yeah, all those little shots and all those little things are actually pretty awesome. And I like the fact that it was all like it was nerve wracking. But at the same time, when we got into the finale, I like that it ended in a very soft way. And it was cute as fuck, especially Netsuko.
Nezuko,
uh,
when she's in that mode, she's a traditional cute sister that you still don't want to mess with.
yep. No, and I love the fact that you kind of see that in spite of her freaking out in previous episodes when she was almost losing control, I like the fact that little by little, without words, we're noticing that she's getting a hold of her demon abilities. And
Yeah,
I like how she's getting control of her blood art, which is that fire that she can create, which apparently burns like sunlight, which is very interesting.
yeah,
And
and
how it can go ahead.
I there argue that that trick of hers to an extent was foreshadowing on what was going to happen in the last episode.
How do you mean?
If, you, if it only hurts demons, why why wouldn't it be able to hurt poison?
If exactly, exactly, it was shadowed by that. Yeah, like it is something that can harm anything demonic, specifically anything demonic.
Yeah,
It's like she's a demon that has anti-demon fire, which in one
which
way is
is
very convenient.
I mean, it's kind of what's it called? I wouldn't say plot armor, but what's the name for it?
How do you mean?
It, it's not plot armor. There is two or is it plot armor that you just have a convenient way to fix
Oh,
something? Or
like a Deus ex machina, like a
thank you.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of like that, but it was foreshadowed, like you said, in a very smart way. It's because we've seen her blood and her ability is some type of flame power. Like we saw it when
Yeah,
he was fighting um, the lower rank demon in the forest, like the spider one. We saw it there. We saw it when she was fighting Daki, um, and we saw it now with the whole thing of her being able to save Tanjiro with the poison and all that stuff, which was pretty awesome. And I like the fact that we were able to find she was able to find they were able to find a way to not not just be the little devil in the box. Like that's one of I think this is the first time really that they've shown her to be like a quintessential member of the team. And what I mean by that, not that we haven't seen her and Tanjiro fight together, but I mean it like this is the first time I think that they've shown her to be that type of useful when now Tanjiro is with the others. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
she's not just Zenitsu's interest among many others. But it's like she's a really member of the team and a member of the core in her own way, which is actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, and even though Dabi and her brother Kenya clearly got where they deserved, their backstory was kinda tragic.
Well, that's something that I was gonna
That's for
say.
certain.
Do you like that trend? Do you like that Demon Slayer trend that every time they defeat a demon, there's always a glimpse of what their life was prior to being a
Honestly,
demon?
honestly, it can go both. I can both see the negatives of that and both the positives of that,
Yeah,
because some people might look at it from that they are demons. What's the point of making them having some sympathetic stuff and
yeah,
all that jazz? And shouldn't it be enough uh, that you just don't that you're just killing and then you want to kill and all that jazz? But for me, when it comes to the Demon Slayer, the whole the tragic backstory, I dare argue that it gives the story some more nuance, because if you really think about it, uh, it's you never in a story you never really know why people become. It's just a it's kind of, wouldn't say you never know why, but it's kind of planned and dare I say overused that they are just demons because demons, so to
Right.
speak. Now they are doing a spin off it, why they would even considering it.
Correct.
Why what made them come to the breaking point of why they would want to become demon instead of,
Exactly.
sure, sure, it's nothing wrong to have one or two villains that is just, I want chaos, like a certain Dabi in My Hero Academia. No, it's not a spoiler right now, because he has clearly shown that even in the beginning, his introduction. So you clearly can have this villains that just want destruction for the sake of destruction, but it gives the story more layers if you show off why they become like they become, if that makes any sense.
Right.
And I have to say, what an entrance for one of the next bad guys, so to speak.
How do you mean?
Uh, Doma, the one
Doma.
that the one that came to the rescue and said, "I can give you something, and if he allows it, you can become demon yourself."
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Like they're kind of introducing, like, because yes, because of the ranking system. The the funny thing is that that particular demon was number 6, but it's very possible that that one is now in a higher rank now. And Gyutaro and
Uh,
now the
uh,
cool thing about
let me just say that, without spoiling anything, if you think they were brutal, I mean, just look at his introduction, so to speak. He came there eating unhuman bodies and all that, yes, just casually and walking down the street. So,
that that's crazy.
I
Now
mean,
now did you remember we were talking about if Muzan was the only one that can create demons? So certain moments of the arc confirmed that, and this moment confirmed it too, because remember that episode in the fight against Daki, that Daki started having memories of another sun user or another demon slayer, and when she was looking at Tanjiro and she didn't recognize who that demon slayer was, and then she said that that is one of Musan's memories, right? So
mm,
they're kind of letting us understand that demons demons that have received a decent amount of Muzan's blood have some of Muzan's latent memories and abilities and decision power. So that's where the comment came from of him saying, and if he accepts it, you guys can become demons, is that that demon can give out Muzan's blood, but it's Muzan within the blood that makes the decision of whether or not they can be demons,
yeah.
which is super weird and
And,
interesting and very meticulous too.
and uh, I'm not gonna spoil anything specific, but there's a reason why Musan is afraid of that guy.
Well, let's talk about the final reveal though, because the Vegas reveal wasn't just the backstory of Daki and Jotaro, which by the way, I love how they went full on that, like on that symmetry between Tanjiro and
Yeah.
Netsuko, and so I love the fact that they paid that off very well. Um, that was actually very very well done. And the whole thing with Tanjiro being carried by Nezuko all over, and Nezuko with the anime eyes, that was the cutest thing in the world. Um, but the revelation that the master of the Demon Slayer is related to Muzan,
Yep.
which
And
which I can't wait to learn more about that. I really want to learn more about that now.
yeah, which makes it the whole Demon Slayer versus Musan even more personal, if you ask me.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm very excited for all that. So I can't wait to watch more, to learn more. And again, the Entertainment District arc was brilliant. I'm glad that we were able to cover it, and I can't wait for the Swordsmith Village arc. Um, I like the fact that they kind of introduced some of the new characters that we're going to be following. It looks like we're going to be following another Hashira again. Oh, can we talk about the fact that Tengen made it out alive?
Yeah,
I'm happy about it. I'm happy about that. I'm glad that he's going to get his
and
quote unquote happy ending.
I do like how Nezuko just came there. Hello, setting on fire, and they're just,
Exactly.
what
Like,
the hell are you doing?
no, no. And everyone's, what are you doing? I'm going to kill you. And Nezuko just going, I love that it's able to do those little anime moments and they work. Because you know how this show
Right.
can be like very serious at times, but somehow they found a way to make those comedic moments land, which is hard to do. You know what I mean? Like shifting
Well,
those tones. So that's pretty
yeah.
awesome.
Who are you
Kudos.
really? I'm gonna spank you. And all and it just shows yet again that his wives are just a female version of Tanjiro Zenitsu and Inosuke, if you really think about it.
Yeah. But yeah, man, this was awesome. I hope you guys loved the Entertainment District arc as much as we did. Um, you guys have Isaac, do you have anything else to say? I think we covered pretty much everything, right?
And I have to ask you as a anime only kind of guy.
Okay.
It's what were your reaction when they said this was the first time in 100 years that something had really changed?
The fact that they said that this is the first time in 100 years that an upper ranked demon has been defeated, that was like,
Yeah,
damn, damn. That only said that literally says like we don't want to even we do not even want to consider how strong Muzan really is. You know what I mean? We don't want to even start that. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's kind of nuts.
yeah, yeah, and it's just going to get not here from here. Okay, that sounded in the words of in the words of a specific animated show phrasing, but yeah, it's going to be crazier from here. That's all I'm going to say.
And I cannot wait. Well, this is awesome. We finished covering Demon Slayer, the Entertainment District arc. But don't worry, we're not going anywhere. We're gonna keep covering awesome anime, manga, and do awesome commentary tracks. We have a lot of great stuff coming up. Thank you for joining us and talking Demon Slayer. If you love what we do on the channel, make sure you click on the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, click on the bell for notifications. If you love our podcast channel, go to podcast, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, anywhere where podcasts are found, you can find the Amateur Otaku Podcast. And we can't wait to cover Demon Slayer in the future again. Um, quick question, Isaac: do you see yourself picking up the Hinokami Chronicles?
Which one?
The Demon Slayer game.
Yeah, I'm thinking about picking it up on Switch when that comes out. Yes.
Awesome. I would love to see you play it, and maybe we can talk a little bit about it on the show in a different area.
I need to
But
get a better computer then first.
yeah, we'll work the kinks out. So Isaac, where can people find you, my brother?
Well, you can find my work over at Wobum Entertainment, and you can find me on for Emblemaniac on Twitter, and that where I post everything from bad puns, links to others' work, and well, stuff like that. We recently did an My Hero Academia episode for this week's for last week's chapter with none other than Ren Geekness from Ren Geekness channel, where we talked about an amazing chapter that the latest one was, and we also have our Attack on Titan. We also have the latest Attack on Titan episode up. We have what do we have up right now that you might have missed? We have our My Hero Academia Vigilantes episode. We are going to start covering three characters chapters at one. And if you missed our Valentine's episode, so to speak, it came up a little someday earlier. We have on a slice of life romantic comedy called Horimiya, which is a really cute series. And before we go, also, and Mike posted something that I think we should show listeners. That
Let's see. Oh yeah, because Mike is not caught up with Demon Slayer. So he said something. What was it that he said? Let's see. Let me see if I can find the comment.
I already done.
You're sharing it?
Yeah.
What's in the box?
And well, we have some other stuff planned to do that we can talk about. We are planning on doing the commentary track that we of Near Resurrection this week, unless something comes up. And no, it's planned. Sorry, and we are doing. Also next week, we're finally going to start Doron covering the new Shonen Jump manga that has.
So what is it? Doron? Doron.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's one of the newer
it's a
mangas
bit.
that came out.
It's pretty fun actually, and it's imagining sort of like a mixture of Demon Slayer Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, Bleach kind of thing.
I don't know.
It's
I always keep going back to Soul
Doron.
Eater. I always keep going back to Soul Eater.
Yeah,
Because it
in
has a
terms
lot
of
of stuff.
anime. In
Yep.
terms of anime styles, I would argue, but the specific plot points, I would say it's more in lines with Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan.
Yeah. So you can find me at the Scarlet Fan 52 on Twitter, at the Scarlet Fan 52 on Instagram, and we look forward to covering more anime for you guys. Have it awesome, guys. Peace.
Peace.